I'd like to have a moment of silence for the following individuals. Joel Lavette, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District. Suzanne Aragano, a former employee of the North Syracuse Central School District. Kathleen Lancy, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District. And Maria Burns, a retiree of the North Syracuse Central School District. Thank you. We have two presentations this evening. The first is our district branding presentation, and I'd like to welcome Lori Cook up to share what we've got going on.
Before we begin, I just wanted to introduce you all to Heather Schuss. Heather is our communications liaison with City BOCES, and they'll be working with us this year for communications. So thank you for having us here tonight. For those watching online that might not know me, my name is Lori Cook, and I have the privilege of being the communications officer for the district. I've worked in this role for 17 years. And I've been a member of the community for 30. Although I'm not one myself, I'm the proud mom and wife of CNS grads. So over the years, I've become an advocate for our schools and the incredible students and staff that are here. This is my home and I'm a proud North Star. So I'm really excited to share this with you tonight. Oh, okay. Okay. So as members of the board, you all know that we've been talking about our brand for years. Over the years, we've had several unofficial and unapproved logos. You can see some of those here. But by not having a consistent logo and brand, there's been some confusion that has happened in the community. In 2022, we had a communications audit done with Capital Region BOCES, and that audit, as well as a subsequent survey, found that there is indeed some confusion about who the North Syracuse School District is. Branding is such an important thing, though, and it's something that we knew we needed to address. So we also know that branding aligned with district identity boosts student and family engagement. It enhances recruitment and retention, and it attracts sponsors. All things that we want to bring to the North Syracuse School District. One of the first things we did when we decided to take upon this initiative was to bring together a group of stakeholders. Because we had so many people who already understood the importance of the issue, it was not hard to find some interested folks who were really committed to the project. We also knew that we had some great leverage in CNS High School with a strong academics program, with a strong athletics and academics program, a nationally recognized marching band, and other extracurricular groups. That incredible reputation was a big part of who we are. In addition, there were some things going on that required immediate attention. With several capital projects, including the addition of a long-awaited community pool at our high school, it made sense for us to immediately tackle the high school logo. We were incredibly fortunate that our district already has relationships with folks involved with branding, so we were able to take the initiative on with fiscal prudence. Rather than starting from scratch, we leaned into the strong CNS brand, and doing so allowed our efforts to evolve thoughtfully and naturally. Through the committee, a shared understanding emerged. Not that our identity needed to change, but that it needed to be clarified and elevated. Over the course of many months, our high school's executive principal and the interim superintendent worked closely with 2 Board of Education members, district stakeholders, and trusted advisors. Together, we carefully reviewed and refined multiple iterations of a new CNS logo. Through open and thoughtful dialogue, two truths consistently emerged: the power of the CNS star and the enduring meaning of the North Star name. It became clear that these elements weren't just familiar, they were foundational. Preserving them was essential to honoring our past while positioning ourselves for the future. I'm honored to say that this board approved the new CNS logo at their meeting in September of 2025. You can see the main CNS logo and North Star's name up on the board. Once we had the elements approved, we knew that we needed to follow through with a brand guide. Having a brand guide is important because it visually and verbally, it shows how the district is visually and verbally represented. It defines correct logo usage, colors and fonts, standardizes icons and the tone of communication, and it keeps all materials consistent. Consistency builds credibility. When our visuals and messages are united, the public sees us as one coordinated professional organization. So when it came time to do the district logo, we knew that we were going to follow the same process. We went back to the graphic designer that we used, and we asked for representations for the North Syracuse School District. Dr. Ward joined the district in January of 25, and it wasn't too long before our logo committee came to him with the idea of approving the district brand. So on top of all of the other projects that he had the pleasure of dealing with, including a budget, he was tasked with this project. So again, we vetted several iterations of logos, but we seemed to have a bit more difficulty settling on the tone of what we wanted. In the end, our committee kept coming back to the foundational elements, the strong star and the North Star name. Tonight, in addition to the two logos you see here, you'll be viewing other logos and will be asked to approve them in an official district resolution. In partnership with City BOCES, we will be able to, once the logo is approved, we will be working with City BOCES to recreate a brand guide and other branding materials for the North Syracuse School District. I'm happy to say that because of the way that we're doing this, it's going to be a phased-in rollout. Materials will be used up, and we'll be doing as much as we can to eliminate waste. We also have staff training available so that we have consistent logo usage. I want to thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
Who were the two board members that were on this committee? And I never had a report back from you or Xavier during this time. I didn't even know this was happening. I do want to thank you, our friend from City BOCES, but to realize that this is the North Syracuse Central School District. It has been since 1952. As long as I'm here, I'm hoping that's what it remains, the North Syracuse Central School District. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing with us. I know the amount of thoughtfulness and work that goes through this, as you well know, in the district that I work in my other life. In West Hill, we went through a logo change, and it's huge. People are just really tied to, like Bob being tied to, the name of our district. And it just brings a lot of, it's people's values, it's people's nostalgia, there's a whole lot with it. And I appreciate you taking the time and taking this on and getting people's input, and great job.
Dr. Kramer, I do want to say too, I did tell you I'm not a graduate of the district, but I'm a proud mom of somebody that graduated in 2021 and had some incredible role models being part of the district. And my husband is a crazy 1990 grad, and he has his name on a brick. And so I understand North Star Nation. Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to invite up Jason Clark to give us an update on instructional technology.
All right. Well, thanks for having me tonight. This is a little update from the same presentation I gave last year. So as you guys have been accustomed to, I usually start with the road behind. So this is from the end of my presentation last year. And I'm happy to say that everything on that roadmap has been accomplished. So we had a very successful first year with Thales. Thales is a local company that is really helping us with our cybersecurity stance, our policies, and really helping TJ and I look at where we are with cybersecurity and help. They're a good sounding board to confirm the things that we think we're doing, and it's been a really good partnership. And I'll touch a little bit on what we've done this year with Thales. This year we were exploring XDR, which is some higher level cybersecurity, and I'll touch on that in a minute. We implemented Duo successfully. So we have MFA, so that makes our cyber insurance company happy. It makes us safer. That implementation went very smoothly. Continue to leverage a tool called Synomi for our NIST, which is part of EdLaw 2D. Always working on increasing awareness around cybersecurity and working very hard to get more STEAM opportunities into the district. So I'm the director of technology, but I'm a teacher at heart. And my passion really is in getting kids involved in STEAM education. And I'll speak to that a little bit. So that's the road behind. So this is where, just to give a little detail on some of this, where we're moving forward. So it's been a busy year. My team has been amazing, and we did a lot this year. But I think the end user didn't feel too much pain from it. My team they're rock stars and they're tired, but they're doing a great job. So this year we totally kind of redid our cybersecurity stack. So we wanted to bring in Cisco XDR. So, I've always used a castle metaphor for our cybersecurity, and I tried to tie this into language that we would all understand. So I see our cybersecurity very similar. Matt sees our physical security. And there's a lot of parallels between what we do. So this year we brought in Cisco XDR, which is kind of a watchdog that's always monitoring and looking at what's happening on our network. So, TJ doesn't have to answer alerts at 3 a.m. It's one of those things that is constantly working. So the real world equivalent it's basically our alarm system. So it's always on, it's always watching, and it gives us alerts when somebody's trying to break in a window or a back door that we, maybe not have eyes on. We've always had a Cisco firewall, and the reason why we went to Cisco was to get it all into one cohesive package. So our firewall continues to be kind of our badge access. So that's kind of where you key in and key out and keeps unauthorized people out. We moved away from Mimecast, which was our email security people, and we went to Cisco Secure Mail again to bring it all into that one environment. And that rollover had happened, and that's building out and working really well. We also went away from CrowdStrike and came into Cisco Secure Endpoint. And then along with all of that, we're bringing in a lot of awareness training for my team down at the end of the hall to make sure they're aware of all these new tools and how to really leverage them to the best of their ability. So that's kind of what we just finished up at the end of the school year and put in place. Couple things we're looking at this year, which is a little bit less of a lift than what we did this past year, is we're looking at 3 more things to kind of round out our cybersecurity stance, which is a SIEM, which is Security Information and Event Management. So that's kind of like the camera system in our buildings, so that if there's an event happening or something we want to go back and investigate, it gives us kind of a video footage per se that we could go back and look at. We're also looking at privileged access management, or a PAM, and that is basically similar to a badge access. You need to approve before you can get into rooms and things like that. It's like a master key, even more than a badge. And then network access control. This is so that somebody can't just come plug into one of our thousands of network ports around the district. The network access control really makes kind of more of a visitor check-in where, we have to scan your license to get in. You can't just go walk up and plug into, there's probably 15 in this room that I can see. So that's really something that we're evaluating this year to kind of round out our cybersecurity. And I had AI make me a little graphic to solidify my castle analogy there. So now we have a really big, scary guard at the front gate called XDR, which is kind of fun. So continuing on with the cybersecurity piece, this is what we did this year with Thales. They're an amazing partnership, like I said, and we're wrapping up, July is kind of our 12th month with them. And so you'll see this heat map. This is everything we've accomplished with Thales over the course of this past year. And we'll be buttoning up some of those ones that aren't filled in green. And then the second year, we're going to continue with them. And we're going to build out our second year with this. And this is really solidifying some of the things that we did, building on some of the successes we had, checking and looking at our all the policies that we have and we put in place. Thales came in and they did a really great tabletop activity with my whole team and all of cabinet. I think it was very well done, and I think there was a lot of good conversations that came from that. A tabletop activity is kind of like a fire drill for cybersecurity. And so they came in with this whole big scenario, and we kind of role played and talked our way through how things would happen. And I think it was really well done on their part. But this is where we're focusing second year. We're gonna, go from build to operate. We're gonna focus on, trying to shift to this new XDR stuff that we're doing, and just really kind of dig into that first year and go from there. All right, so that's cybersecurity. Next thing, I am very happy to say the state last week said we can go on buying the rest of the VSonics that we need. So we had to move a bunch of money around in our Smart Schools Bond Act. And finally, I actually signed the quote today. So we're working on that. We had a little bit longer of a pause than I wanted to. We're currently replacing all the smart boards with 75-inch ViewSonic interactive panels. We were moving along pretty good, and then we had to stall because we just needed to get that approval. So we have the rest of the boards coming in. And I'll be working with Matt and his team and my team to start getting our aging smart boards out and getting these new interactive panels in place. So that's going to be something we're going to be doing over the next number of months. STEAM opportunities. I started at the beginning, I said I'm a teacher at heart. I'm very passionate about getting kids up and working and learning. With the new title that Nick has as STEM director, he and I are working very closely along with Daryl and Jamie. We're all coming together to really kind of build a district vision around what STEAM education looks like in this district. We have a lot going on in the next 5 years, and we're all very excited to bring in directors, principals, teachers, and really start to get a team together to look at what STEAM education looks like and where we're going to go in the future to get kids ready for opportunities that, whether it's Micron or whether it's any of the other industries around here, we are on the precipice of a very big change in this area, and we need to have our kids prepared to be in those types of roles. So Next week, we're meeting with our first kind of initial discussion around what this STEAM team will look like with all the folks involved. And next year, we'll be carving out time throughout the year for us to kind of meet, look, and discuss and see, where we're going to go with that. We did have a full steam ahead grant that I presented to everyone on last year. Those robots have been, I actually like to call them toys, teaching our youth skills. Those toys have been bought, put in the libraries, and the library media specialists will be using them next year with our students to just really get pique that interest in problem solving, thinking, creating. We had a little rough start with our first Lego League, but we got there. This year, we're going to hit the ground running. All 4 of our coaches have been identified. They're going to a coaches clinic at BOCES in August. And so we should have 4 teams in the BOCES competition for first Lego League next year. They usually compete around January. So we were a little behind the ball just because of the waiting for the grant from Micron and things like that. It got off the ground slower than I wanted it to, but we are ready to go for next year. And the kids that participated last year had a blast. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with a little bit of experience and a little bit of more time to prepare this year. We also are continuing to work with the AFT, UFT, NICET, and Micron around our advanced technology framework. We brought some more teachers into this pilot. It's a 3-year pilot with 10 districts in the area and broader across the state. So that is really looking at some of the skills that are needed in the, what Micron is looking for, but also any advanced manufacturing. So that framework we're continuing. This is our 2nd year with that. And we also are continuing with the OCC ELM pathways, the electromechanical pathways. Students at the high school can take classes and get college credit for free. And this program, my son is currently in at OCC. And so it's, this one is very close to, I'm walking the walk on this one. So the AFT and the OCC ELM are actually now talking to each other and together. And so we had, I think, a 3-day AFT, UFT, NICET, Micron, OCC day in July, right, beginning of July, at OCC campus, where all the teachers came in, administrators came in, and so the AFT and the OCC pathways we're getting more people at the same table. We're all trying to do the same thing, but now we're getting around more of the same table. All right. So it's been a busy year. This year, I'm going to hopefully not try to change too many things. We're to a point where we've built, and now we just need to continue to build on the foundation that we put in place this year, along with also, changing the email system and all that. So it's been a crazy year. So going forward, we're going to continue with Talus. And like I said, we're going to continue to work with them and really kind of dial in what they've already done and really work to examine what's happening. We got a lot of learning to do and there's a lot of AI built into the XDR as well. So there's, it takes some time to build and learn our system. And so TJ and Ryan are really digging into the whole Cisco stack and what that looks like and building out our posture. Like I said, we'll look at the SIEM, PAM, and NAC solutions and see what is out there and what makes the most sense for us. Continue to look into NIST as part of EdLaw 2D. That's just one of those things that's probably going to be on the slide up there from now until whenever. It's just something, it's like mowing the lawn. You just keep going back over it and looking at where we are. Finish the ViewSonic refresh. And then really focus this year on STEAM education. That's my big project this year is to really look at STEAM education and bring people into it and have a really good energy around what that STEAM education looks like. So that's that. Any questions? Yeah.
Not really much of a question, I guess, but I would love to hear, especially on the STEAM stuff that you're talking about,
Yep.
just, whether it's 6 months from now or
Yep.
something, some sort of update on where that's starting to go. I've started to, now that I've seen this, I think it's the third presentation of yours that I've seen. So I'm starting to understand where things are as far as cybersecurity, but I am interested in seeing where that goes as well.
Yep, okay. Yeah, Paul.
Quick question. I know CrowdStrike made the news this past year. What's Cisco, is it more of an industry standard? What's it give us?
So Cisco is a very much industry standard there, but they're looking to get more into the educational space. It's one of those things where they've been in industry and they're looking to move into the educational space as well. So it's, CrowdStrike and they're, Ford versus Chevy. They're different products, but this one brought everything, instead of having things, Mimecast, CrowdStrike, here. This brings everything all under one umbrella, so we can really leverage the data that comes out of a system like this so that we can see it all in one place rather than having it kind of a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. So that's kind of why we went to that one model. Yeah.
First slide next year at this time.
Say that?
Is this your first slide for next year's presentation?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, we'll look for that.
More to get. Yeah. Leave them hanging, right?
I have a quick comment. Oh, Bob first.
Ladies first.
Oh, first of all, Jason, thank you. I just want to make the comment of overseeing technology, I think is, I would never want to do it. I love technology. I embrace it, but it's always a headache. No one's ever happy because something always goes wrong at the right time.
Yep.
So, kudos to you. It's full of angst. I'll just put it out there. I wouldn't want Don's job either. I don't want finances. I wouldn't want human resources. Actually, yeah, you guys superintendents, absolutely not. So kudos for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thank you.
I want to thank you also for a great presentation. And I knew when I met you in BOCES, unfortunately, North Syracuse got you, that you were going to be a star.
Thanks.
I am concerned at the high school that the students are not signing up for the classes that are Micron generated.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm hoping that your group can somehow get that. I think it has a lot to do with scheduling, but I don't know that. I don't know that. But if we're going to go this avenue, which is the best avenue, we need to get more students into that program. We talk about STEAM. As you know, the governor and the mayor and BOCES is quite involved with the STEAM program in the city. Are you part of that, or?
On the fringe, yeah, I've been involved in some of the conversations. I know we have three
Was
Three
it
students?
5? Originally, in the budget, there was 10. And the budget concerns, we went to 5. There's no reason we can't find 2 more students. I would hope that my board president and vice president and superintendent may invite Dr. Manning in to do a presentation, in the springtime, to see where that program's going and how we can get more involved in that program. I know I had another question, but I have you on my. But thank you for everything you're doing. It's much appreciatated.
No problem.
I know what it was. Michael and I both worked very hard to get a director of technology. Michael remembers this. Very happy we have a director.
Thanks. I appreciate it too. I like being here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, we have no comments from the audience, but as always, we welcome anyone to come and share with the board if they so choose. Board of Education Committee reports. Mr. Thorne?
I believe we have second reading of policy 7360.
Cell phone policy.
I'm going to say some things under Board of Education comments, but our next meeting, our first meeting of the year will be October 1st.
Dr. Ward?
Okay, a little bit, a couple of things, one being about cell phone policy. The governor's office reached out to us today to possibly host an event with her in attendance. That will be, we believe that will be Monday of next week. And the reason that the office reached out to us is because they believe that we're the first school district to actually come out and release some of our guidance when it comes to cell phone use for the fall. So that's something that they picked up through Syracuse.com and they gave us a call. So more, we're still figuring out the details of that, but Monday would be her visit. And I'm not really sure if it's a press conference or an interview, so we're gonna figure that out. But Monday she will be at our junior high school. So it's good news there. And the other piece that the Board of Education should know is tomorrow we kick off our 2-day professional development with our administrators. And we have 2 very action-packed days with some wonderful facilitators. So it's just a great 2 days of learning for our administrative team. So I did ask Paul and Mike to just come and represent the board for that. So I believe they're going to be able to make it in the morning, but so that's something that we're all excited about. So thank you.
Board of Education comments.
Couple. How about one? I just wanted to again reiterate what I said before. Bob and I will be attending the conference. It'll be August 1st and 2nd. So I'll see you again August 4th. I don't know if I'll have a written report by the 4th because I get a little report on what we see, verbal or written.
Yeah, I've spoken about this at length for the past few months, but I think that the approach that our district has taken to the cell phone policy has been really proactive and has been the fact that we're the first in the state, or at least that we're aware of. Right, see, which seems to be really says a lot about the fact that we already had the ball rolling on this well before we knew that it was going to be something that was happening at the state level. And then when that happened, we kind of moved things right in the right direction along the state guidelines. So again, thank you to the governor and the legislature for making this happen. And also thank you to the district for kind of being right out there out front. And I think that, it's interesting hearing all of this stuff about cell phones at the same time and talking about all the great opportunities we have with technology and how those are going to come together and being able to create responsible citizens who know how to use technology in a way that's beneficial, but doesn't cause some of these problems that we're seeing. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it's all going and just wanted to say thanks to the district, the administration, the community, because we really did a great job with this.
That I agree with everything you say. Legislative committee, as you know, will be meeting first, but things are happening in our country. I'm surprised, Paul, you haven't said anything about this, but we got some information from Dr. Ward, and we should be quite aware of what's happening in this country. And so the legislative committee, I think, is going to be very, very, very busy. Our state legislators, if I'm correct, talking to Mr. Sturpey, they're still in Albany working, and the governor is also requesting maybe a special, you might know more about this, Paul, in the fall. So he's really working hard. But I am concerned about the programs we have in the school district. The one that's dear to me is the one at Roxborough, where we already got approved the grant, and then to withdraw the money is just not happy. So I'm, Dr. Ward, not very happy about the things that are happening in this country and where we might go with the legislative. Oh, and Jason's not here. You know when the Legos, or not the Legos, but the BOCES program is for our tech kids? They're going for Micron. To our student. Now, Mark will try, Mr. Thorne will try to get you on the policy committee. I know policy committee, but with your background, I truly would like you on the legislative committee. But you do what you feel is right. I know, Mr. Thorne, you've been with him for a year, but with your background, the way we were talking last week, I think you could add a lot to the legislative committee and working with our legislators. So just saying.
I am already on the policy committee, but I'm very open to being on the legislative. as
Okay, you got that, Jill? Right at.
All right, Bridget, you have anything that you'd like to add for your report?
In regards to my comment last meeting about general anxiety over the cell phone policy with students, I think that things have gotten better. The initial shock is kind of gone. And or like doesn't feel like it's the school district's fault, which was kind of what I was concerned about, because everyone kind of understands this is a state level thing, and it's not like, oh my gosh, like how dare CNS get rid of phones, you know? So the initial shock is gone, and I think kids are kind of realizing like it is happening and it's gonna be okay. So that should be comforting to us all. And everyone's very excited about fall sports coming soon. Very excited, but including.
Thank you. Moving into routine action items, I'd like to take A, B, and C together, group for the consideration and classification of. I have a motion to accept those together. Mark and Paul, any questions or comments?
Yeah, I was just concerned about the number of students not placed. Usually we have 2 or 3. There are quite a few. Is that because of the end of the year? With special ed, maybe you could come back. Bus. I'm talking about B and C, both school placement and preschool. A lot of students on there. But, oh, and I'm thinking it probably is the end of the year. Thank you.
All those in favor? And D, declaration of marketable and non-marketable surplus. Do I have a motion to accept that? Josh and Dr. Comments? Favor? Okay. Discussion action items. A motion to approve the resolution to amend the rate for retired substitute bus attendants. Do I have a motion for that? Kramer and Mandy, any questions or comments? All those in favor? Acknowledgement of gift. The North Syracuse Central School District has received a gift of a Yamaha audio mixer with a value of $250 from Mr. Brian Heffron, a father of a North Star Network student. So do I have a motion to accept with gratitude that gift? Dr. Kramer and Paul. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? That is. Resolution to create a long-term sub-counselor position at Cicero Elementary and Lakeshore Road at St. Margaret's Elementary Schools. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? Josh and Dr. Kramer, any questions or comments? All those. Yes. Resolution to create and abolish specific maintenance and operations positions. This was discussed. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? Submitted. Mark and Josh, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That is. Of the architect contract for 5-year building condition survey. The approved action is to approve King and King fee proposal for conducting the building condition survey. Do I have a motion to approve that? Dr. Kramer and Paul, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That is- Approval of the draft district level safety plan. Do I have a motion to approve this safety plan? And I'll just note that this comes with a 30-day public comment period. Dr. Kramer and Mandy, any questions or comments? New policy number 7316, the internet-enabled devices during the school day. Do I have a motion to approve the second reading and formal adoption of that policy? Mr. Thorne and Josh, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Resolution to officially adopt the North Syracuse Central School District logos. We saw that. I have a motion to approve that guidelines for all of our buildings to use. Dr. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you for all. And the appointment of the 2025, 2026 Board of Education Committee assignments. This is just our board assignments for Executive Policy, Legislative, and Budget Subcommittee. Do I have a motion to approve those assignments? Josh and Dr. Kramer, do we have any questions or comments on these assignments? All those in favor? There. We need an executive session before we move into personnel. I have a motion to accept personnel item A as submitted. Josh and Mark, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's. I have a motion to accept personnel support staff B as submitted. Kramer, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Accept personnel report C as submitted. Kramer and Josh, any questions or comments? That's unanimous. I will make a motion for meeting adjournment. Do I have a second? Josh, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Saratoga this weekend or not for the